One of America's most notorious hard rock bands was on the road when a terrifying overnight crash unfolded in South Carolina. Buckcherry's tour bus was caught up in a fatal multi-vehicle accident on Interstate 26, and while the band and their entire touring crew survived unharmed, one person tragically lost their life. So what exactly happened that night? And how did Buckcherry walk away from a crash that could have ended very differently? Stay with us, because we're breaking down what we know. For decades, Buckcherry has represented the raw, rebellious side of American hard rock. Formed in Anaheim, California, in 1995, the band built its identity around loud guitars, swagger, high-energy performances, and the unapologetic sleaze rock attitude associated with the late '80s Sunset Strip. At the center of it all has been vocalist Josh Todd, the band's sole remaining original member. Buckcherry broke through to a massive mainstream audience with songs like Lit Up and Crazy Bitch, establishing themselves as one of the recognizable names in modern hard rock. And even after lineup changes over the years, Todd has continued carrying the Buckcherry name onto stages across the country. But on Friday morning, August 21st, 2026, the band's tour took a frightening turn. At approximately 2 a.m., Buckcherry's tour bus was involved in a multi-vehicle accident on Interstate 26 in Spartanburg County, South Carolina. According to reports, the collision occurred ahead of the band's bus. Authorities confirmed that the crash resulted in one fatality. Reports indicate that a person had exited a vehicle following an earlier collision and was subsequently struck on the interstate. The exact sequence of events surrounding the entire multi-vehicle crash remains important to distinguish from what happened to Buckcherry themselves. The band and crew were traveling on the highway when the incident unfolded, but thankfully, no members of Buckcherry or their touring personnel were injured. The band later confirmed the frightening news to fans. Josh Todd and his bandmates were safe. Their touring crew was also safe. But the relief of escaping unharmed was accompanied by grief for the person who lost their life. Buckcherry expressed condolences to the victim's family and loved ones and thanked fans for reaching out with concern and support. It's a reminder that for touring musicians, the road isn't just another part of the job. Every overnight drive between cities carries risks that performers and crews rarely get to think about when they're stepping onto a stage. Despite the terrifying incident, Buckcherry's tour schedule was expected to continue. The band was in the middle of its Roar Like Thunder tour, supporting its 2025 album of the same name. And just one day after the crash, the band was scheduled to perform in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. For a group whose identity has always been built around getting on stage and delivering a high-energy rock show, the decision to continue the tour carries an added weight after such a traumatic night. Buckcherry has spent more than 3 decades embracing the chaos of rock and roll. But this time, the chaos wasn't happening under concert lights. It happened on a dark stretch of interstate in the early hours of the morning, and tragically, someone didn't make it home. The most important thing to remember is that everyone traveling with Buckcherry was reported safe and unharmed, while the band has expressed its condolences to the family of the person who died. And if you think you've heard the whole story, don't click away just yet. Watch the video on your screen because we're diving deeper into Buckcherry's incredible rise from the Sunset Strip rock scene to becoming one of the bands that refused to disappear. Click that video now, and I'll see you there.